Hi Virgo, welcome to your deep love read for the first half of February. I hope you guys are doing great and hanging in with the whole Mercury nonsense. As your ruler, you guys know I'm ruled by Mercury, so I loaded a bunch of videos to the wrong my wrong YouTube channel, like craziness. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing great today. So the way this reading is going to go is I'm going to just speak a few minutes about the astrology having to do with Venus only. I'm not going to talk about everybody. It's February. We'll talk about Venus, and I'm going to timestamp. Then I'm going to go into the singles. So I'm going to do a spread for Virgo singles, and then a separate spread for somebody in energy that you may be dealing with. And then I'm going to go into, I'm calling it complicated because like what couple's not complicated, right? But it would be a couple's read, and then again two for each of you, right? One for you and one for the other energy that you're dealing with. So having to do with Venus right now. So Virgo, you know, it's all about the sixth house, right? So Venus has been hanging out in your fifth house. It's going to be moving into your sixth house February 6th into the 7th, depending on where you live, right? And so it's going to be joining the party, right? The big grand conjunction is happening in your sixth house. We've been talking about that. So come the 7th, we're going to have Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, who's retrograde. So he's kind of like has his back to turn towards the party. And then the sun, all going to be hanging out in your sixth house right? Mercury here. Sixth house of health, of your day-to-day experience. When I say health, mental, physical, emotional, your day-to-day experiences, does have to do with your work environment, all of that. But let's stick within the context of how it may connect to the relationship read. So we have Venus in there, who's really going to be having us look at how we feel about things in our life for sure, right? So Venus is also going to be sextiling the South Node, right? The South Node is in Sagittarius, and so that's going to be happening in your fourth house. But also in that fourth house, Venus is actually going to be semi-square Saturn. Okay, in the fourth. It's not a big deal. Those of you who don't know a semi-square, but it's worth noting, particularly when we're talking about short transits, like a week or two, is it's a minor hard aspect, and because it can cause friction that makes you want to take some sort of action to reduce that friction. And because it's happening in your fourth house, it could have something to do with home. So particularly if you live with your partner, if there's any issue having to do with buying a home, selling a home, doing work on a home, moving in, moving out, anyone who lives in the home, the idea of parenting, right? There can be some tension there, right? But the sextile, we love the sextiles and we love the trines, and we have two really nice ones going on with Venus. So even though you might identify something as being a little challenging, it's actually going to have this softening effect with Venus, okay? Now, at the same time, we have Venus is going to be trining the North Node, which is in Gemini, and that's going to be happening in your 10th house. So again, within the confines of a relationship read, remember the 10th house here has to do with career, but it's also your public reputation. It represents the institution of marriage. So for those of you who are married, or at least maybe you're legally maybe you're legally living together, anything like that. Also, just the public reputation. Are you single? Are you separated? Are you married? Are you divorced? So, you know, like, what are you out in society, right? So beautiful trining energy there with Venus. Fabulous, particularly for those of you who are single, right? And then at the same time, we also have the sextiling going on. Venus is going to be sextiling Chiron. I love it. It's going to be in the 8th house. Guys, this is fabulous energy. If you have to have any kind of conversation on settling up any sort of, let's say you guys are a couple, right? And you want to buy a house. Beautiful. Sextiling Chiron, excellent. You're going to get the mortgage. It's whatever has been standing in your way, because Chiron's all about healing. So it's whatever's been standing in your way is going to be addressed. Okay, having to do with relationship, even if you're single, because the 8th house has to do with where our obsessions hang out. It's the house of fears, it's the house of endings and beginnings, it's the house of intimacy, our partner's money, anything that's cyclical. So it's a really important house, not the easiest one. So whenever Venus wants to either sextile or trine our 8th house, we say, thank you, woman, right? Because that's what we want. So even though there might be some trippy energies going on for a lot of people this month, I don't think so much for you guys. I think it's going to be kind of good. That's not to say that you're not going to be feeling your own set of challenges naturally, because I don't know what's in your natal chart, guys. Do you understand? Like, if this is the transiting energies having to do with the archetype of Virgo, so I have no idea what's going on in your natal chart that might be getting squared, triggered, in conjunct, I don't know. Right, that I can't speak to. But we're talking about the general energetic influences. Very important for you to understand that. Yes, go the distance. Very nice. In relationship, don't give up. If you're in a situation where you're like, geez, sweet Jesus, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Going the distance means, look, I mean, his bottom is falling out, for goodness sake, right? You see as he's flying across the desert. Go the distance, no matter how hard it is, because there may be something that you might not be seeing, okay? There might be something that you're not seeing right now. And that has a lot to do with the energies. It could also, you know, let's keep it real. You guys are ruled by Mercury, and even though it's not an end of the world kind of thing for Mercury to go retrograde, because you and Gemini are just so used to it, but it doesn't mean that the blocks are ever really comfortable or the challenges are ever really comfortable, but it's an excellent energy to revisit stuff. So good. So good. Oh, really? Soulmate. Okay. I feel like this is going to be a good reading for you. I just do. Very nice so far. Okay. Let's get into our single friends. So let's pull a couple of, we're going to pull a Celtic Cross spread for first starting with you, and then an energy that you might be dealing with. The Fool, Four of Cups, Knight of Cups, Pentacles. Virgo, you feeling a little apathetic about something. You might be feeling a little apathetic about like going on meeting somebody new, right? If you're single, it's like, ugh, just the idea kind of makes me ill, right? And that could be because you were dealing with the Seven of Swords energy at some point in the past. You know, I get it, 100%, I get it. You know, because the Seven of Swords is about betrayal and dishonesty and running away from something, and this is in your past. So you're single now, but this was your past. So to have this level of dishonesty, this mask-wearing energy, somebody who you really thought was somebody other than, right? And whether they got spooked and scared, or maybe you got spooked and scared because you realized some sort of dishonesty from them, whatever the case, you moved on and you're single now. So here you are, you know, as the Fool, which is a great energy, really. I mean, because this is about fresh hope, taking chances, getting back out there again, brand new, brand spanking new path. You know, it's it's Uranus energy, beautiful about the future, right? It's all about the future. But it's being crossed by the Four of Cups, which is this energy of apathy. And it's like, you know, it's you're feeling unfulfilled. Now, you may be feeling unfulfilled about the idea of moving into the future. You might be feeling unfulfilled in your own life right now, and intuitively you understand that a relationship is certainly not going to fix that, right? I mean, maybe you want to look deeper into maybe some things, some work that you want to put, do on yourself. Maybe some of you are just really busy with work, with all of this action going on in your 6th house, right? And Venus is also trining the North Node in your 10th. So hello, a lot of you guys might be learning new things at work, where you are sort of setting yourself up for this next phase of your life. You're getting ready for this next 2-year cycle. I do know a lot of you guys are doing that. So you might just be really busy and just like, I can't get into a relationship because of A, B, and C. And just the idea of it now makes me feel like A, B, and C. So a lot of you guys might be feeling that, but check it out. We have a Knight of Cups energy coming in. So there is a part of you. Now, the Page and the Knight could just be a general energetic influence, or it can be a person. But the Knight of Cups is a Princess Charming coming in and proposing something. So I do feel like a lot of you guys are going to be meeting somebody new. And Virgo, you're like, all right, maybe I'll think about it, right? But the foundation is the King of Pentacles. So this is a solid and practical energy, my friends. Like, this person understands what's up. If it's not having to do with money, where they're a smart investor and they're very smart with their money in a way that you recognize, right? In Virgos will recognize that, because you recognize everything, because you're the most aware sign. You're the most critical sign, but in a good way. You recognize the good and the not so good and everything, right? If it has nothing to do with that, this is a person who completely understands what's necessary to make a relationship work. And here you are as the Queen of Cups. So I love this, because this tells me that you're willing to open yourself up to it. This is the thing, going back to the Four of Cups energy. The thing is with the Four of Cups, it's sort of a silly card. And why I say that is because there's a level of immaturity to it. You could have the most intellectual person that could get sucked into the Four of Cups energy, where it's like, I can't be in that because of this, this, and this, and I can't be in that because of that, that, and that. But at the end of the day, it really has more to do with your own fears and vulnerabilities and trepidations than anything else. You know, and it's that's making you say, I can't be bothered. Well, you want to be bothered, though. You're just scared. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're not sure if you should look at that, but look at you. You're the Queen of Cups. Yes, yes. Come on. I love this, because this is you and only you. This is not an external influence. So this tells me it's you. And the Queen of Cups in astrology is Gemini pairing up with Cancer. And that's a beautiful combination, because Gemini is about communication and learning, right? Needless to say, it is the North Node right now, right? So we're all going to be learning, any Gemini, we're going to be learning from the Gemini energy, right? And Cancer, which is, it's about home, like literally your home, living somewhere, you know, but it's also that metaphorical home space of feeling grounded, rooted, safe, and secure, like we do at home, right? Think about that feeling of home. So it's you communicating what it is that you need. And what I like, though, is I feel like you're really not willing to compromise on a lot right now when it comes to, so it's like your ability to articulate, even though Mercury is retrograde, your ability to articulate what you need is very on point, you know. And this is a beautiful energy to do it in. Maybe not if you're meeting somebody brand spanking new, but I feel like you may be meeting somebody already, like before everything kind of goes retrograde. Well, no, not everything, but Mercury. Now, the energy that's external to you that's still influencing you is the Death card. So, you know, honestly, I feel like a past relationship is still burdening you. It's still on your heart. It's still in your energy. It doesn't mean that you feel like it's still the right thing for you. It doesn't mean you're going to go running back from that to them. It doesn't mean any of that. It just simply means you had an experience with an energy, whether they were dishonest or not, whether they betrayed you or not. This is what it indicates. And it's still on you. Maybe you have unanswered questions. Maybe it's the pain has not unpeeled itself enough in enough layers for you to feel like really excited. But the thing is this, sometimes the best medicine that the doctor could order is a brand new healthy energy, even if you don't feel 100% ready to jump in that pool yet. You know, but it seems like to have a Knight of Cups and a King of Pentacles, Virgo, really beautiful. I mean, that's very lovely energy. And we have the Eight of Swords in your hope and your fear. Oh, stop, because you're going to be making excuses. I don't think they were the right thing for me. I don't think that they're the right person for me. This is so self-imposed isolation, self-imposed imprisonment. You know, I don't think I belong in this. I don't think this is the right thing for me. But this is what's funny. This is your hope and your fear. You almost want them to not fit the bill, because then that means, like, how could you not follow that energy? How could you not at least explore that? But at the same time, you're hoping for that so that it could give you a reason to not engage with the energy. And even if you haven't been with anybody for a while, getting involved with somebody is really, really scary when you're single during a pandemic. I mean, in full disclosure, I am not single. I am married. However, I have a lot of I have a lot of clients, and I have a lot of friends actually who are Virgos. And so I know the energy is scary. Well, I have people of all signs actually, and Virgo's only one element in it. But during the pandemic, it's like a different dynamic. It's kind of strange, right? It just is. I know. Like, one of my good friends was sharing with me that, I forget if she said, I think it's Match that she's on, if I'm not mistaken. She's having a nice experience on it, but it's like everything's sort of virtual, which I say, hey, better that than the old way where somebody could have said anything, right? At least you could see like where do they live? Where are they Zooming you from, or whatever the heck it is. So a lot of virtual exchanges, but it's scary. It's scary because you really just don't know, right? We're in a strange time right now. But in the near future, we have the beautiful Queen of Wands, which is, I love this. This is you feeling very confident and very self-assured. I like this. I feel like somebody's going to come in and make you feel really, really just good about things, meaning comfortable. Look at what we have as the final outcome energy. The silly little card is very, very profound, and I think you're going to appreciate this. Giving and receiving help, generosity. This is somebody who gets it, and this is the outcome here. And this doesn't have to be for money. I mean, even though it's a pentacle energy, remember, pentacles also mean mental, physical, and emotional connection. So it could just simply be meeting somebody and you're having amazing conversations with them, at least at this point, because life is weird and it's only for the first 2 weeks of February, right? Depending on where you live, you may still be in a situation where, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? So connecting, mental, physical, emotional connection, any of those or all of them. I like this energy, man. We're getting it with the soulmate and going the distance. Give it a shot. Going the distance is about putting your energy into something that you may not feel 100% comfortable with. You understand? And then you had soulmate here. Virgo, I really like it. But remember now, you're not going to meet an energy if you're at home hiding on your couch eating Malamars and watching Netflix all day, right? We do have to put ourselves out there so that other energies can exchange with us. And that's, I always say, I believe, at least from my perspective, for my position in anyone's life watching me, is that of a weather girl, right? I give you the weather of the astrology. I give you the weather of the energy. The same way as if I was going to tell you it's raining out and you're like, no, I don't want to go out in the rain. That is your decision. 100%. I get it, right? You're not in the mood to get wet. Okay, fine. You don't go out in it. Same thing with energy. If you don't want to exchange, sit it out, sit it out. If you really don't want to get involved in it on a deep level like that, totally get it. But it does seem like if you take the chance, there's a really nice something waiting for you on the other side of that. Just saying. Okay, see what's going on with them, because now I really want to know. I'm very curious. Okay. All right, subjective read. Whoever's going to be dealing with the Virgo single. I'm more interested in seeing their past card, please. King of Swords. Okay. Ooh, this person's smart. Okay. This person's smart, but I feel like this person's been hurt. Yes. This person has been hurt. Ooh. Okay. Now, those of you who have nobody really left that's relevant in your energy field, meaning it doesn't mean that you're not still hurting about somebody, but maybe that person went on, is already remarried, or they were in another relationship, whatever, and you know that there's no chance of you getting back with them. You're meeting somebody new, because it does seem like you're definitely meeting somebody new. But I want you to understand the mindset. It's very important to understand this person who's coming in. It's a good person. I'm not saying it's a sensitive person, somebody who's been burnt. This person has been burnt. And I feel like that's why they're coming in as the King of Swords energy. Now, this doesn't mean that they're cold, right? Just because this is very intentional and strategic and not allowing their emotions to get in the way. But they're approaching the relationship from a point of a I said checklist before with the 4 of Cups, but their own kind of checklist where it's like, okay, does it even make sense for me to get involved with this person? Because I don't want to get hurt again. It's, are they self-sufficient? Do they have issues? Are they, whatever works or doesn't work for them, right? Obviously, it's going to be very subjective, but it's them approaching things from the mental rather than the emotional space. And while you might say, really? I don't think so, Virgo. I think you kind of like that. You guys are an earth energy. You're ruled by Mercury. You're ruled by the mind. This is very much like a mind energy, right? The King of Swords is Capricorn and Aquarius. So Aquarius is your sister, right? So you get it. 8 of Swords. Self-imprisonment. Self-imposed. Self-isolation right now is their situation. They're keeping themselves trapped in something, like energetically, that they feel like they don't even belong energetically trapped in, right? This is something that's going on before you guys meet. We have that complemented by the Queen of Wands, which is a very feisty energy and very confident and self-assured. So maybe this is you, right? King of Pentacles is the crowning energy. King of Pentacles, very solid, practical energy. Again, going back to, this came up your readings, that's very solid, practical energy, even as far as relationship goes, even if it has nothing to do with money. Staying very solid and practical, but understands what's necessary in a relationship. So that's the thing with the King of Pentacles. They understand what communication needs to look like. They understand what healthy intimacy is. They understand what an equitable relationship is across the board, So that's, you can't sneeze at that. But they're in this 8 of Cups energy in the foundation. The 8 of Cups is withdrawing, retreating, and moving on and abandoning a situation. But I'm going to be honest with you, truly, I don't think that this is because of you. This is something that they're working on releasing, because we have, where are they right now? 10 of Wands. You can't be a 10 of Wands if they just met you. 10 of Wands takes a long time to build up. 10 of Wands is the card of overwhelm, it's stress, it's exhaustion, it's burden, and it's putting the wands down, saying, I can't even see in front of me anymore. I don't want to deal with this. And it's really making the decision and making the choice to say, I just don't want that anymore. I don't want it. Now, the external energy that's impacting them right now is the King of Wands energy. Now, the King of Wands, King, Queen, it doesn't matter gender, right? The King of Wands energy is a Cancer and Leo energy. It's very charming. It's very courageous. It's, it's very impressionable, right? Because think about Cancer and Leo together. Cancer is home. It's the walking element of a home. It's cozy. It's comfortable. It's safe. It's secure. And Leo's all about fire and romance. So it's like this connection that's allowing, that I feel like you're going to have with this person, that's going to allow them to release something really unhealthy that they went through, right? But man, are they scared, man. Look at their fear. They're scared. They're scared of getting hurt. The 3 of Swords is the card of pain. It's heartbreak. It's loss. It's depression. It's divorce in some cases. Maybe they went through a divorce. It certainly could be that as well. The 3 of Swords is any sort of challenge in that partnership area, right? Because it's Saturn in Libra in astrology, right? So we talk about Saturn, but Saturn is a challenge, right? First of all, why is Saturn's always a challenge for people? Because Saturn represents time, first of all, right? It's Chronos, it's time, right? Time is man's enemy, right? And it's always this idea of restriction, right? Because we never have enough time. And it's this idea of no and karma. But this is something from the past, again, because you can't have a Saturnian energy in a new energy. It's just really not found, right? Because Saturn is about the age in something. So it's Saturn in Libra, and Libra is about that partnership, particularly Libra being the 7th house, having to do with marriage. So definitely might have but this might be a divorce situation where they're just working through stuff. Maybe they're working through the pragmatics of the divorce. Maybe they're working through the emotions of the divorce, but that doesn't make them any less focused on you. But they are in a space right now, it does seem to me in the near future, where they're definitely trying to get their coins together, right? Focusing on financial gain, focusing on being self-sufficient, focusing on what they want to do. Maybe they had been in a very restrictive situation and they want to spend a little something on themselves. Now, if this doesn't have anything to do with money, it really is getting in touch with the Nine of Pentacles, what it is that they need in relationship. They need. And that's not to say that they're selfish at this point, but it's like they're kind of honoring themselves after feeling like they haven't been honoring themselves, if that makes sense. That doesn't make a person selfish. That just indicates that somebody is trying to have some self-respect for themselves, right? Now we have the Lover's energy. And the Lover's energy, I really like this because I feel this is the final outcome. And I feel like this is very much where you pop into the situation, because the Lover's energy is, first of all, it's blessed by Archangel Raphael, and it's the need to make a decision. But I want to be very specific about this, because believe it or not, the Lover's energy is connected to the Tower. And you're like, wait, what? How was that happen? Well, it's like something had to end. There had to be some sort of ending of something in order for there to be lessons learned, right? And there are always lessons learned in the Tower because it's a Mars energy. And whatever those lessons are now being taken into this relationship. So while the Lovers is about partnership and deep love and the strength of two together, it's also a choice. And it's the kind of conversation that goes something like this. I really want to be in this relationship, but I'm tired and I don't want to be hurt anymore. I'm not interested in playing games. I feel like I have my act together and I'm not perfect. However, I really want to be with somebody who understands what it means to actually work at a relationship and not expect perfection. Because if you guys can have that understanding, you have all of the blessing of Archangel Raphael. And how beautiful is that? So those of you who are single, I see someone really promising come in. And I pray that this is your reading, because what a nice energy I'm getting from this. Like, seriously. All right. Let's go on to our coupled friends. Notice I said complicated and not coupled. In my, in the thumbnail, because I feel like if you have a really perfect relationship, one of two things is going on. First of all, you shouldn't be watching relationship reads if you have a perfect relationship. And then next to that, I don't think any relationship is perfect. We all have our challenges and struggles, no matter what. Even if you're happily married, it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, seriously. Come on. That's part of life. If something is like without issue ever, I feel like it's got to be communication along the way about something that's uncomfortable. Otherwise, are you guys living in reality? I'm just saying. So let's see what we have here. Now, this first one's going to be for you. Okay. So we're starting in the Four of Cups energy, and the Four of Cups is an energy of apathy coming into this. So something might have been very unfulfilling for you regarding your relationship coming up to this point, Virgo, having to do with your partnership. And as I always say, right, it really is a very silly energy, because it's a kind of energy where it's not to say that the person that you're dealing with at all is maybe not showing up in the way that you would like. And I'm not suggesting that. But what you need to do a little more deeply is to consider how what they're not doing or what they're doing is impacting you on a very fundamental level. And is it poking at any scars that you have in you? Are you looking to them to complete you in some way? And again, I'm going to call it like it is, right? We have to be honest if we're going to actually have tarot and astrology work in our favor, right? Just something to think about. Because the Four of Cups is like, oh, well, they don't do A, B, and C, and they don't do this, and this, and they don't do that, and that. That might all be true. That may be true. But what is it about that situation that is so troubling to you? Do you feel like you don't matter enough? Do you feel like they're not invested enough? Like, what is it? What is the bigger message of the situation? Is the advice to always look at. And this is coming into this energy. Now, we have this work in current situation is the Six of Swords, which does indicate a necessary transition. Away from something that's toxic. Away, away, away. Definitely this is definitely a very perhaps tense time that requires some balance within the relationship. You know, when we're talking temperance, we're calling in Archangel Michael to do some mitigating and some mediating, right, of a situation where we need to have all ears open. This is the energy of compromise. What do you need? What do they need? What does the situation need? Because temperance, right, does say you're probably dealing with a little bit of a challenging situation. If it's not a challenging situation that you and your partner are dealing with together, you know, it could be something that you guys as a team are needing to deal with in your life. Could be maybe something going on with a family member or some sort of legal issue. It could be a bunch of things, right? But it's creating a lot of stress in the situation where cool heads need to prevail, right? Or it could just simply be where you guys are in a weird space and you don't feel like things are very equitable and it's causing a lot of tension. This could certainly be the situation, right? But whatever's toxic, whatever's causing the tension, that needs to be moved away from right now. You need to move away from it, right? Now we have the crowning energy is the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is a complete and painful ending. It's the hitting rock bottom of something. But I want you to remember that this is still a minor arcana. It's not major. And the difference between the two is that this could just be something that's going on. Something needs to end. A cycle needs to end. The way something's been up to this, been, you know, rolling out up to this point has to end. It has to end. It can't continue the way it's been. It's not working. So something's ending. Okay? And that could just be a cycle. Because it would be ridiculous to say that all Virgos are all breaking up or all getting divorced or all whatever, right? Now we have this working with the Seven of Cups as the foundation. So this could certainly be indicative of you at least feeling someone has commitment issues or there being too many choices involved for you or for them, right? Could be any other one, right? That's definitely what the Seven of Cups is. Now, Page of Cups is where you're at right now. Now, this is you and only you, which is all about you're all about a new cycle. So if you're in a long-term relationship, you're all about a new cycle. If you're in a weird space and you're not sure if you want to stay, this is all about you being ready to meet somebody new. This Page of Cups is a new love. But Page also does indicate a new cycle. Okay? So some of you may be in this space where it's like, I'm done with this. I'm done. I have other choices. I don't feel like I can fully commit to this. So I'm gonna go with this other energy here. Now we have this working with the Four of Coins. Now this is an external energy that's not you, that's influencing you. So you could be this could be your partner who's feeling really very concerned about your long-term security, but almost to the point of it coming off as like greedy, where they're a little too worried about money, or they're a little too worried about not opening themselves up to you because of something maybe that they experienced in the past that they had, with you. It's a little too much, right? It's holding themselves close. Because there's a fear here. There's definitely a fear here. Now, in your hope and fear, we have the King of Wands. Yeah, I mean, the hope. Who doesn't hope for a King of Wands energy? Cancer and Leo, feeling safe and feeling attracted, and Cancer and Leo can literally also mean home and children, right? So it depends on what your situation is. Because Cancer does represent the home, and Leo is the fifth house of children as well. This also has to do with falling in love and romance and feeling very grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. So it's like you might want to move forward in a particular way, right, with an energy, but at the same time you're afraid to leave your home because of your children, right? So it could certainly be like that kind of energy. The Page of Swords is in the near future. And this is all about truth, right? You guys might be dealing with some gossip, like between friends or family, about your own business, about your business. You know, you see the bird on the shoulder, this little blue jay is like, and then this happened, you know. This could be a little bit of a gossipy energy. You know, and pages are young energies, meaning, you know, immature a little bit. So it's like they don't know what to do with the energy. So they just end up delivering the truth. The final outcome is the hangman. And the thing is, the hangman could be an energy of you waiting for somebody to come around to your way of thinking, or them waiting for you to come around to their way of thinking. The hangman energy is about trying to get a different perspective in a very wise way. And it's also trying to figure out, if you stick with this situation, are you going to ultimately end up having to sacrifice what it is that you really want? You know? It's, you know, and it's a Neptune energy, so it's more of an energy of confusion, right? More of an energy of confusion, just something that's, I feel like that's important for you to understand, right? Because it's almost like you're trying to gain clarity in a situation where you don't have all of the information, is what I'm feeling. Now, whether that's because there's not healthy communication here, because there's been a lot of misunderstandings, whatever the case, but it does seem like you guys are in a very like kind of challenging space for the moment. Let's go back though. Remember, go the distance in soulmate. So we have to, you know, keep that in mind. You guys just may be going through a bit of a challenging spell right now, but let's see what's going on with them. See if we can't get more information. Okay. Subjective read for Virgo's partner, the person Virgo is dealing with in this complicated situation. Okay, 5 of Cups, a sadness going on here. Beginning of February, first 2 weeks. They got the 4 of Cups too. Wow, they're like, they are not comfortable. Oh man, Virgo, they want to take a chance with you though. So we have, coming into this energy, we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, for them. So the Page of Pentacles is very patient. I'm trying very hard to, if you guys are having issues either with money or connection, they're either trying to figure out a money situation or figure out a way to connect more healthily with you, because it's not like they don't want it. They're very sad right now. The 5 of Cups is a sad energy. It's a feeling of loss and regret and grief and feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. And we have the 2 of Swords crossing this here. So it's a time to compromise and make a decision. So they definitely, I'm definitely getting that they want to fix something. But look at the crowning energies, this 4 of Cups energy again. I feel like within this connection, Virgo, please don't take any offense to this, but it seems like the 2 of you really can't see how you press each other's buttons. And you can't really see clearly. And it's so hard, it's so much easier to identify that in other people, right, than in you know, your own relationship. But this is the energy of coming up with all the reasons why something can happen, and really what they're not looking at. And I'm saying it you because you got it as well, because you want to, they want to point a finger, right? And the thing is, they're not looking enough at their own role in everything. They're just not. You know, the cup is being given. You can even see it's kind of like this person's kind of on the young side. It's like, I don't know. But then look, we have the 3 of Cups as the foundation. Being surrounded by family and friends, this is definitely a circle of support, but this is a celebratory energy, guys. I mean, we can't ignore that. It is. It's a celebratory energy. So I feel like, you know, maybe they were waiting for something to come in. They were waiting to hear on some sort of good news, something like that, and it comes in. And they want to just celebrate with you. They want to be with you. They want to, They want to take you out to dinner. They want to have a drink. They want to do something to make everything okay. And we have you as the Nine of Swords right now, and you just don't know if it's the right thing for you. You know, you may be having ruminating thoughts, some anxiety, maybe even some depression, interrupted sleep. This could certainly be the case. This is a Mars and Gemini energy in astrology. And Mars is that warrior planet, right? And Mars is very obsessed with making sure that we're where we're supposed to be. And you know what's interesting? It's Mars and Gemini. Look at the eyes on the top of the swords, right? This is, first of all, those are protection, right? Those of you who know about the eye of protection, maybe if you're of Greek descent or Mediterranean descent, you know about that. That's Mars. Mars is watching you, right? Mars is watching you to make sure, you know, oh, is this the right path for you? And you're very aware of that. Now, the energy that's external to you, that's impacting you, is this Emperor energy. So I feel like your partner wants to come in and take control and say, come on, this is what we're going to do. Wants to take the leadership vibe. Say, come on now, let's go on fresh path, new perspective. Let's do something different. Let's go in a different direction. I have a bunch of ideas. But the problem here, because it's an Aries energy, there may be an element where you're like, yeah, that sounds great for you, but I'm not sure if that's what I want. You know, you seem to have it all figured out for you. You have all these ideas, but did you, you know, are they asking you what you want, kind of thing? But they're very stressed out. You know, they're very stressed out about this. And this external Emperor energy, I mean, this is really impacting them. They want to have a new beginning with you. And it's almost like you're coming in and saying to them, listen, it's not that difficult. All we have to do is this, this, and this. Why are you making it so much harder than it needs to be? And that, like, on the one hand, they know you're right, but then on the other hand, it's stressing them out. Do you know what I mean? So we have the Sun energy for them as their fear and their wish. I don't really even think we need to explain that. They're afraid it's not going to work. They're afraid it's not going to work, but they want it to. So we have the Knight of Pentacles in the near future. Very reliable energy, very patient, very hardworking. If it has anything to do with money, also willing to do what needs to be done for the relationship. The Knight is very proactive, right? And this is a reliable and patient energy. Somebody who wants to come in and fix things. And they really want to take a chance on really making this work. So Wheel of Fortune is a good energy and it's a turning point. So I feel like whoever you're dealing with feels like, okay, look, it's now or never. We're going to take the chance or we're not. This is ruled by Jupiter. It's about luck and expansion, but it also has to do with cycles. You guys were great, then you weren't, then you were great, then you weren't, because it's the wheel. This is a very, very destiny-driven energy, and I can't ignore the fact that we have the soulmate energy is here as well. And the thing is, soulmate energy can be very uncomfortable because we're meant to learn lessons from them. But more than anything, that is a soulmate's job in our life. So they're not feeling comfortable either. They're feeling their own sense of lack of fulfillment, but they still have fire in their belly for you, Virgo, and they really want to try to make it work. They really do. You know, so you're going to have to do whatever you feel like is the right thing for you, obviously, right? I mean, we could read tarot all day long and talk astrology all day long, but it's never going to take into account your personal decision as a human being. So that's the energy that I got for you guys. I hope this was helpful in some way and lending clarity or something to think about regarding relationship for you right now. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.